And do you agree with our guests in Rome? Is this a result of the post 9/11 way that Islam and Muslims have been portrayed?
Yes, well, as far as this individual is concerned, we don't yet know to what extent he was involved with other people. We don't yet know to what extent his political involvement drew him into a broader terrorist conspiracy. What we do know is, I think, is that there's an important distinction to be drawn between anti-immigration politics as it has traditionally been at various times in our history and this extreme apocalyptic rhetoric that we've seen in the last decade or so about a clash of civilizations and other such things. This apocalyptic Islamophobia that has spread throughout Western Europe and the United States, and which has been spread not just by extremist parties so much as by mainstream journalists and mainstream academics. People like Geert Wilders, who this terrorist was said to admire, is somebody close to the political mainstream in his country. The party that this man was a member of in Norway is close to the political mainstream and shares much of the outlook of the political mainstream in relation to that clash of civilizations and in relation to its close alignment with Zionism, as we were hearing earlier on. It seems to me that if apocalyptic rhetoric is promoted, if an association with a genocidal program, such as the particular extreme varieties of Zionist that some Western politicians are happy to associate with, such as Wilders, if that sort of thing becomes mainstream, then it's no surprise if someone further down the line, even if it turns out that this man, in terms of this particular action, didn't actually associate with other people in planning this particular action, the climate in which it was inspired is quite clearly one to which a number of people have contributed and to which a number of people very close to the political, academic and media mainstream have contributed.
Now, Mr. Lendman, with this individual killing over 90 people by shooting them and bombing them, why wouldn't this act initially be called a terror act? Now, we are seeing more and more sites and newspapers and also broadcast entities now starting to use the word terrorist. But initially, the word, when describing this individual, it was not used terrorist. However, they did use it when they thought that perhaps there were Muslims behind this act.
Well, I have written about numerous attacks, numerous individuals, numerous ones that were magically foiled before they happened, numerous ones that were committed. Every single time, I've written about dozens of these. Every single time, the initial accounts, the official accounts, turned out to be wrong, falsified. Later evidence showed the real story was much different. I find it very hard to believe one man, I don't care what he was armed with, managed to kill 91 people before he was stopped. That's almost an impossibility. It has never before happened, but yet supposedly one man did this. Was it one man? Did he have accomplices? Were they hidden shooters? There's a great line. My English guests will appreciate this. There's a great line from Gilbert and Sullivan's HMS Pinafore. Things aren't always as they seem. Skim milk masquerades as cream. Can I cite an example? The London Guardian quoted a Norwegian police official saying, "This looks more like Oklahoma City, 1995, than World Trade Center." Oklahoma City, I wrote about it today. I have a brand new article I'll put out tomorrow. I featured Oklahoma City in it. The original account was two terrorists, homegrown, blowing up the federal building. The real story was there was a truck bomb. Maybe these people did it. Maybe they did not. But the real story was a brigadier general, an expert in munitions and armaments, conducted a study at a weapons laboratory at Elgin Air Force Base, and he concluded, and this has never come out in the mainstream media, he concluded it was impossible for this truck bomb to do the damage it did. How was it done? The building was rigged on the inside with multiple explosives done by experts, undetected. Something was rotten in Oklahoma City. I think something is rotten in Oslo. We don't know who is behind this, what the motives are. I have lots of suspicions.
What are you saying, Mr. Lendman?
24 hours since it happened.
What are you saying exactly? You have lots of suspicions. Can we talk about at least one of them? What exactly are you saying when you're saying that it's similar to Oklahoma City and that Oklahoma City was not what it initially appeared? What exactly are you saying here?
Well, I think there are two motives behind all of these attacks. One of them, in general, is to stoke fear, to let government justify its policies. In the case of Norway, it's pulling out of Libya, but it's a NATO member. It's got a token force in Afghanistan. It supports Western imperial wars, not the way Britain and France do, but it supports them. And another reason, maybe this time, is Norway is very supportive of Palestinian rights. Very possibly, there are right-wing extremists behind this. Karl Rove has made a number of visits to Norway in recent weeks. It could be that there are right-wing extremists who plan this attack to soften the criticism of Israel, to soften the support of the Norwegian government for Israel, for Palestinian UN full membership, de jure membership. It could be that they want to turn Norway around, take its soft approach, make it a harder approach, more pro-Israel, less pro-Palestinian. Very possibly this is part of it. But I will say emphatically that later on we will find out that the original story, the official story, turns out to be false. It has holes in it, and we will learn the truth later, but it could be months from now when the story has long disappeared from the news. The one thing I'll leave with viewers is be very skeptical of everything that comes out in the official major media, the corporate media, the BBC, the U.S. corporate media, the major newspapers. Be very skeptical of them.
Okay.
Doubt everything. Do your own research. Do it online and find out real facts. I discussed it today on my program with a great guest, the Progressive Radio News Hour. Anybody can listen to it archived tomorrow. Go to the Progressive Radio Network. You'll hear a wonderful account with a magnificent guest talking about truthful information of what might really have happened in Oslo on Friday.
Okay. What about that, Mr.